Thank you very much for your time. How many people have read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Thank you. Anybody not read the book? Wow, good. I really appreciate your time, especially today. Our time is probably the most valuable thing we have. So I'm always respectful of people who give it their time, and I thank you all very much. For those that one person that may not read the book, as a quick background, his name is Kiyosaki. He's a fourth generation Japanese American, which means I don't speak Japanese. I barely speak English. English was not my subject in school. My father was the head of education for the state of Hawaii, top guy, PhD, good man, hard worker. But he had myself as his son, to balance him out. I flunked out of high school twice because I couldn't write and I don't read well. And so it's ironic today that I think I'm the #3 selling author in America today. I'm not proud of that. School. But I wasn't interested. I kept asking my teachers. I was into my 3rd year of calculus, and I said, how am I going to use this stuff? I could barely count on my fingers. I'm in the 3rd year of calculus, spherical trigonometry, and I'm cheating my ass off. And after a while, cheating can only go so far. And I still graduated from college, a Bachelor of Science degree. Stands for BS. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about tonight is that my book, Unfair Advantage, it's what school will never teach you about money. And there's reasons school will never teach you about money. And if you can understand that, you'll know why. I love learning. I love education. I hate school. And I hated school because it wasn't going to get me where I wanted to go. I didn't want to, go to school to get a what? A job. A job is an industrial age idea. We're in the information age. There's not much job security today. In my company, when I put in a web system and all this, I can replace hundreds of workers. So it's not just China or Japan, it's technology. You go to Safeway today, you don't even need a checkout clerk today. You just go scan through and steal them. So, and our school system is still saying go to school to get a job. And kids come out of school heavily in debt. And the problem with the debt, I don't know if you know this, but like with me, if I have a mortgage on a house, I can walk from it. And the bank will forgive it. But if you have a school loan, it's not forgivable. You carry it forever. It accrues interest forever. And so that's why you have Apollo College and University of Phoenix and all that. They're basically just diploma mills that kids go through to collect, they guarantee you a college degree, guarantee you financing. So the school system is basically like the subprime mortgage business. They just pump people through it, and people wind up deeply in debt. So for years, I wrote my first book in 1992 that said, if you want to go to school, if you want to be rich, don't go to school. Okay. Sure, around. That was well received by the teachers union. And I'll say again, thank you. I am very much pro-education. I just don't like school. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. I love learning, but I want to have a choice on what I learn. I want to have a choice on which teachers teach me. The teachers I had, they should have been retired 30 years ago. They hated kids. I hated them. It was mutual. So I'll say it again. Education is more vital today than ever before. Unfortunately, they're not preparing you for the real world. Kids are coming out. I meet these new hires who apply for jobs, and they're functionally incompetent. Smart as a whip, but incompetent. And I sit there and I go, as my rich dad said to me, my rich dad's my best friend's father, he just basically says your education begins when you leave school. That's when it begins. Now, if these young people come out of school today and can't find a job, we have a lost generation. Because they're not going to get the experience required for this country to make it. So I've been a proponent for entrepreneurship for most of my life, because that's what I've been. I didn't want a job, I didn't want to climb the corporate ladder, because I'm not capable of doing that. I can't kiss enough butt to climb the corporate ladder. I'm not designed for that. So, and I worked for Xerox for 4 years, and it was a great experience, but I went there for one thing, to learn how to sell. Because if you can't sell, you can't be an entrepreneur. It's that simple, because sales equals income. The schools will never teach you how to sell. They'll tell you to go for security. And the problem with security is the price of security is your freedom. The more security you seek, the less freedom you have. That's why the people with the most security are called maximum security. Okay? So you can tell I have a bad attitude on this whole thing.
Good.
And I think one of the biggest problems with America is NEA, National the National Education Association. And their purpose is not to educate you. Their purpose is to be the biggest political action group in the country, which they are. They got Obama in. I'm not against Obama and all that. Their job is to collect union dues and vote in political leaders. Well, the rich do the same thing. It's no different. So, how many of this room, I love my country. I fought in Vietnam twice. I love my country. I don't trust my government. Some people don't trust your leadership. And that's the problem. And I'm not saying they're bad people, although they are. It's that they all have their self-interest. And when you have so many people pouring so much in tax money, naturally people are going to put their hands in the till. Okay, so my idea is that somebody says, what is going to happen in the Middle East? I said, who cares? The question is, what are you going to do about the Middle East? Am I going to go fight in Libya? I don't think so. Will the price of oil go up? Probably. The question is, what are you going to do about it? And so the difference here is this, okay, a poor person, somebody says, let's say oil is 150, which it has already. The poor person will say, oh, oil is high. Inflation is going up. What will a poor person do? Buy a bicycle. Ride a bus. A middle-class person will buy a Toyota Prius. And a rich guy will buy oil. That's the difference. And so your thinking as to the problems we're about to face in the next 20 or 10 years is dependent upon your outlook as a poor person, a middle-class person, and a rich person. I cannot save you. You cannot change the world, but you can change yourself. Is that clear, guys?
Yes. That's great.
So that's why I write, that's why I talk, that's why I don't get Christmas cards from NEA. Okay, so, how many people think our country's in bad shape right now? I'm afraid it's going to get worse. And so it's really best to prepare. I cannot predict what's going to happen, but you can be prepared for what's going to happen. When as a professional investor and entrepreneur, I always look at my strategies in 10-year increments. So the year 2000, I look to 2010. From 2010, you got to look at 2020. And the questions you ask yourself between 2010 and 2020 is what problems lie in our way. The two biggest problems, the biggest deficit problem we have is not the subprime crisis. The biggest problem we have is Social Security, which is $15 trillion. The second is Medicare, which is $60 trillion. That's $75 trillion that's going to come due within the next 10 years. My question is, can our Congress, our Senate, and can our President solve that problem? I say no. Okay. The question then is, what is Congress and what is the Fed going to do? There's only two options we have. Number one, print more money. We're at quantitative easing 2 right now. Quantitative easing means print money. So. And the way you print money is that the Treasury sells a bond, creates a bond, a debt, IOU from the government, from us, and the Fed puts the money to it. That's it. Generally what happens is China, Japan, and private investors come by to buy those bonds. In the last month, nobody showed up to buy our bonds.